The technique I'm going to show you for a rolled hem is quite unconventional, but it actually works quite well, and remarkably well on very lightweight fabrics. Sometimes you can get away with it on a fabric that's a little heavier weight, like a quilting cotton, but it's not always as effective. So most effective on linings, weights of fabric, chiffons, things like that. The stitch is performed with a zigzag stitch, so you need to have zigzag. The settings for the zigzag are going to be predicated on the weight of the fabric. I typically like to have my stitch width a little wider than normal, so if it's set on the machine at 3.5, I might go up to 5. And then I also sometimes increase the length of the stitch as well, but typically I leave that at the standard setting. Your normal straight stitch zigzag foot won't work for this technique because we need a place for that hem to roll. On the normal straight stitch zigzag foot, it's flat across the bottom so that the fabric can just run through and there's no buildup of stitches. But when we start doing a rolled hem and we do those zigzag, we're getting both a buildup of fabric and a buildup of stitches. And so what will happen is it will just get jammed and stuck on the foot. So you need a foot that has an opening on the bottom. This foot here, it's for decorative stitches. It's got a cutout of the bottom and it allows the stitches to progress through the bottom of the foot. It may work for you, but I tend myself to like something that's got a little deeper cutout on the bottom. The foot I have is referred to as a beading foot. What happens is a string of beads is run through there and a zigzag is run over the top for doing decorative. So it's got a very deep trough built into it, and it's about 1/8 of an inch wide. So I don't know how well you can see this, but it's got a cutout right down the center of the foot that goes up about 1/8 and goes across about 1/8. I find this foot works pretty darn well for this. The first step is optional. However, it has helped to secure and stabilize the edge. Sometimes with this technique that you'll get little frays of thread that want to peek out. So doing this first will assist in that. The first step is to run a stay stitch in the fabric through one layer of fabric and keep the stitch length small. It is unnecessary to backstitch. I'm going to drop my stitch length down to about 14 to 16 stitches per inch. Hold the thread tails back when you first begin. Next, trim away the excess fabric as close to those stitches as you can without compromising the stitch. Set up your machine for zigzag. On my particular machine, I'm going to set the width at about 5 millimeters. The stitch length is at 1.4 millimeters. That's going to be quite fine. We're going to replace the foot. When doing this stitch, what's going to happen is it's going to roll toward the top. So you'll want your face side face down. The right swing of the needle, the zag to the right, needs to be right at the edge of the fabric, and then it will come back in on the fabric and then right off the edge, in and off the edge. Hold the thread tails back when you begin. Again, backstitching is unnecessary. And it will automatically start to roll. And that's all there is to it. It rolled the fabric to the back, and now I have this nice rolled hem on the bottom. I left my bobbin thread in white so you could see what was occurring.